want to be aware of. First, we're going to put this on the side. We're not ready for it yet. And we want to glue one of the big gear on top of one of the little gears. So the easiest way to do that is from the top, run your screw down through the big gear, flip it over so that the side you don't want to have be on top is showing, and lay it down on its face like so. Once you've done that, take a little bit of super glue. Again, if you waited for your first box, you'll have super glue from us. Otherwise, you can use other kinds of super glue, or you can wait for white glue to dry. It's just really slow and annoying. So I'm just putting a few dots of glue around that screw, and then I'm going to take this gear, one of the small gears, and again I want to put it backwards so that the not pretty side is facing me, and we're going to lay it down such that the glue sticks nicely, and we're going to glue these two gears together. This is the important first step in your project. Now that we've done that, we're going to want to put the two small gears on. So you'll decide which gear goes on which side. You'll take a short screw, slide it through one of the gears, and then through the side hole, flip it over. And the easiest way to lock the nut into place is going to be to put a little drop of glue on your screw threads. If you're using super glue, you can do this. And just loosely screw it on. So this is one of the first Steamy Tech tricks you'll learn. You want to screw it on, but leave a bunch of space, just a little bit of space underneath the nut against the wood. Typically, the thing you can do for most of our screws is going to be to make it so it's flat on top. And if you do that, you'll notice you've got a nice, easy way to now spin your gear. Now, make sure you're careful and you don't spin it too much to tighten it accidentally before that glue dries, or you will end up stuck together. And we're going to repeat that same process on this other side screw. Put a little drop of glue in it. Put the top on, put the nut on here, so we've got a nice flat surface again and lots of loose space for spinning. Make sure that one spins nicely by itself. Now we can flip this other one over, which should be dry by now. Put it in the top. You may have to wiggle it a bit to make sure it can spin both of these other gears. And again, we're going to flip this over. Put a drop of glue on it. Put a nut back on top. Again, you want to make sure that you leave yourself a little bit of space and that that's nice and flat, and make sure your whole piece will spin correctly. That's step one. Let's put the gears on it. Step two is going to be to flip it over and to glue on it our back, which is going to cover up our nuts and make them nice and flush and easy to carry around. So we're going to do this. Putting a little bit of glue here. Notice I'm also going to put a little in these sections out here to make sure that it will all stick together. And then we want to make sure we line it up. We'll use the nuts as a way to do that and make sure the edges are nice and smooth as you stack. That's another one of the tricks that we'll use going forward in making your boxes, is making sure this is all nice and flat. And we've put it together and we've built a nice keychain. Now you have two choices. One choice would be simply to use a split ring that we included and just to slide it on. But I want to make it sit a little nicer so that the split ring sits flat, so I'm going to use jump rings. Now, putting jump rings on is simply a matter of opening them in a nice parallel way. It will take that you have to have a couple of pairs of pliers if you want to do this. So if you don't have any pliers, go ahead and put the jump ring on straight. Otherwise, if you hold them this way, you can simply open it. Notice how I'm staying parallel to each other, so I'm just sliding the jump ring open. I'm going to slip it through my piece of wood. This is a pretty heavy jump ring. So if you're having trouble with it, like I said, it's fine. Switch it the other way and just put the split ring on. You can put your two pairs of pliers back together and close that jump ring nicely. And now I have my jump ring on, and I have my very cute little keychain that I can carry around and use. You can hold it this way, spin it from the top, hold it the other way, spin any of the gears you want, and it should spin nicely and easily.